She didn't speak. She didn't flinch. She didn't even look anyone in the eye. She was built to obey, traded between empires, tagged, scanned, and controlled like any other high-value asset. But when one human refused to treat her like a tool, when he gave her a name instead of a number, something inside her flickered. Not programming, not protocol, something fragile, buried deep, awakening. She spent the following weeks rediscovering her senses, textures, smells, the warmth of food, the way gentle lights stirred her from sleep instead of alarms or yelling. She learned the layout of the ship like someone memorizing a sanctuary. Each panel, each door became familiar. And slowly, something inside her began to feel safe. One day, while passing through a quiet spaceport, the human introduced her, not as cargo, not as someone rescued, but as his crew. The word settled deep in her chest like an anchor, something real, something lasting. She didn't speak then, but her spine straightened, her gaze met others. One mechanic gave her sugared fruit after she fixed a coolant valve. Another simply nodded and said, "Steady hands." Her voice came next. First in whispers, then in curiosity. She asked about buttons, systems, why stars shimmered different colors through different glass. She debated oxygen mix settings. And when he let her pilot under supervision, she grinned with nervous joy, knuckles white on the controls, heart pounding. One evening, he brought her a small carved box. "I picked this up long ago," he said. "Didn't know why at the time." Inside was a pendant, smooth, silvery metal in the shape of a winged figure, unlike any species she knew. Her fingertips trembled as she lifted it. It was warm. Solid. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "It reminds me of you," he said gently. She blinked, startled. "But I don't have wings." "You don't need them," he said. "Not anymore." That night, she wore it to sleep. Weeks passed. Her hair grew in full, healthy waves again. Her posture changed, no longer folded inward but lifted. She laughed. Once. Just once. But it startled both of them. She apologized. He just smiled and said, "I hope you do it again sometime." Then came the signal. A broadcast from a colony that had gone dark years ago. Storms, famine, no calms. Now a flicker of a distress beacon had reawakened. "We don't have to go," he said. "It's not safe." She shook her head. "We have to." The descent was rough. The atmosphere choked with dust. They found scattered buildings, weak power lines, and people barely alive. She moved without pause, repaired a water purifier, lifted a collapsed support beam, carried dehydrated children on her back. She gave up her food without hesitation. She taught one girl how to rewire a filter, and showed another how to braid wires like her old hair braids. A wild-eyed alien girl clung to her leg after a storm, calling her Sky Angel. She didn't flinch. She knelt, brushed dirt from the child's cheek, and whispered, "I used to be like you. Someone reminded me that I matter." The child stared at her pendant. "You're strong." She smiled. "You will be too." When the work was done, and their ship prepared to lift off, she stood atop the ramp, muscles sore, skin sun-kissed and worn. He waited for her at the top, leaning against the frame. "You didn't have to stay behind each day," he said. "Yes, I did," she replied. "They needed someone who understood." He nodded slowly. "You're not who you were when I found you." She looked down at her hands, once trembling, now firm and steady. "No," she said, "but I still remember her." He extended his hand, not as a rescuer now, but as an equal. She hesitated only for a second, then took it. They stood together at the edge of the open hatch. Behind them, stars awaited. Ahead of them, more broken places, more lost souls. And maybe, just maybe, more pieces of herself still waiting to be found in the hearts of others.